Hey everybody, it's Neil with Western Canadian Rockwell. We're back again. Today we're going to go over some ag tire information. We're going to name this video Deciphering the Ag Tire Divinci Code. We've been getting a lot of questions on how ag tire sizes work and the R1, R2, all those different tread styles and stuff like that. So we're going to put together a short little video here and try and help solve some of those mysteries. Okay, we're going to start off with our tread designs first off. Keep in mind this is all for off-road use. We're going to keep it specific to that, so we're not going to touch on any like R3 designs you find on lawn tractors and stuff like that, or a steer type tire that you'd find on the front of a tractor. We're going to keep it mostly to the stuff that we use as mud boggers and off-roaders and stuff like that. So to start off, this is what you call your typical R1 tread design. It's a very common. A lot of tractors use something like that. It's very well rounded. It's not as deep a lug as an R2 or a paddy, but it does provide a lot of traction. We found these work really good if you're using them all around, so mud, rock, sand, all that kind of stuff. And usually the R1s, because they're so popular, you can find them pretty cheap. From there, we're going to go into an R2. This is very similar tread design to an R1, just with a deeper lug. It has the angled lugs and everything, but designed more for mud-specific type applications. From there, we're going to skip the R3, and R3 is basically your lawn tractor tire, good for turf and stuff like that. So we're going to skip that. On R4, we're not going to get into too much of those either, because those are kind of the tread design that you find on a Bobcat or a forklift or something like that. I'll post a picture of it so you know what I'm talking about. And then we get into these. These are what guys call a rice and cane tire or a paddy tire. And they have a very squared off lug and usually a very deep tread. And these ones are specifically designed for really deep mud and applications like that. Okay, now we're going to get into trying to decipher some of these tire sizes. If anybody's ever looked at buying ag tires or looked in an ag tire, you can see a lot of them, specifically the bias ply tires, all start off with, say a 14.9-24. And the common question is, well, what the heck does that mean? Does it mean that it's, 14.9 inches tall or something, which we know that it isn't, because 14.9 is close to 50 inches tall. And, what are these numbers supposed to mean? Is there a way to decipher them so you know the height or anything like that? The short answer is no. These tire sizes on these bias ply tires don't really make a whole lot of sense like they do, but they're not very helpful in figuring out the size. Usually you have to pull up a chart to figure out what it is. So basically, to explain it further, you can see this tire here, it's an 11.220. So to start off, the first number, this 11.2, this is the width of the tire. So this tire is 11.2 inches wide from the manufacturer, and then the 20 is the rim diameter. So this tire would fit on a 20-inch rim. If we go behind it, this used R1 here, you can see that it's a 11.224. That means that it's 11.2 inches wide, fits a 24-inch wheel. Same with this guy here, 11.224, same size of tire. Okay, now that we've kind of gone over the tire size on the side of the tire, I'll kind of explain how this all works. And the reason that it's so confusing is because you can find, a TSL bogger or any of those Interco tires that you can get a 44-inch tire for, say, a 15-inch rim. You can get a tire with a really heavy or deep sidewall like that. Ag tires don't typically work like that. So for example, if you have a 35-inch ag tire, it's probably going to be on a 16-inch rim. And then if you want to go taller than that, your rim size is also going to have to increase. So if you want to go to, say, a 40-inch tire like this one here, your rim size is going to have to increase to a 20-inch rim. And if you want to go taller than that, say 11.224 like this, you're going to have to step up to a 24-inch rim, and it keeps going and going from there. There is really no such thing, not that's common anyway, that you'll find a 40-inch tire for, say, a 16-inch rim. It's just the way the agricultural industry is. Okay, so now that we've just determined the rim diameter, another common question is, how do I determine my rim width? And typically when it comes to ag tires, the general rule of thumb is that you want your rim 2 inches narrower than the tire width. So for example, we have an 11.220 here. What you're going to want ideally is a 9-inch wide rim for this 11.2, and then say, for example, 14.9, 24, you're going to want it somewhere around a 12-inch wide wheel. It's just a rule of thumb. It doesn't have to be exact. The other thing to keep in mind is that you can, like say for example this 11.220, if you want to mount it on a 10-inch wide wheel, that's fine. Like guys have done it. It's not ideal, but what it'll do is because you're mounting it on a wider tire or a wider wheel, it's going to stretch out the tire and pull some height out of it. So this tire rated from the factory is a 41-inch tall. If you mount it on a wider wheel, then obviously it's going to suck it out and you're going to lose some height. You might end up like 39, 40 inches tall. Same thing goes if you mount it on a narrow wheel, like say for example if you stick it on a 6 or 7-inch wide wheel, it's going to squeeze it together, maybe give you a little more height. Okay, another thing to mention about agricultural tire sizes, which is frustrating, you can spend hours upon hours memorizing tire sizes and what they equal to in height, and then all of a sudden you can go and change brands, manufacturers, or even tire styles, and the height's going to be different. So you can see here this is an 11.224 in an R1 pattern, and this one here is 11.224 in a patty. This tire here, it measures out to about a 41, and this one here you're up around like 46, 47. So best rule of thumb is just if you really need to know the height, like 100% bang on, is refer to the manufacturer's specifications. And ag tires aren't like normal boggers and stuff like that where it says 44 on the side of the tire and it measures out to say a 41 or something like that. These are pretty close to what the manufacturer is suggesting on the paperwork. They can vary, you know, between half an inch or something like that because it is just a big chunk of rubber, but it is a pretty good reference. Okay, now we're going to get into the debate about tubes or no tubes. These tires here, they're a tube type tire. That's the way they're designed. And the whole idea behind that is that the reason these tires run a tube in them is because from the manufacturer they don't have, it's called a butyl liner inside of it, which is basically 100% airtight liner. And that's what a lot of tires do, or any tubeless tire will have that liner in it. And basically what it helps is if there's any imperfections in the rubber or if it's porous at all, it'll basically hold the air inside the tire. Where these tube tires don't have that liner in them. So it doesn't happen very often, but I have seen where guys have mounted tires without tubes in them, and then slowly over time they'll leak down air, and there's really no explanation for it other than the tire is designed to run a tube, and that's probably why it's losing air. Okay, next we're going to get into what the L means in a 28L 26. And basically it's the same as every other agricultural tire. The 28 is referring to the width of the tire, and the 26 is the rim diameter. But the L is just there to explain that it's a larger than normal section width on this tire. And if anybody's seen a 28L, or say for example a 19.5L, you know that they're a wide tire compared to any other agricultural tire. And that's basically all it means. You'll see exactly how wide this 28L is compared to say 23.1, 26 or something more common like that. So, okay, last thing we're gonna talk about is the ply rating on these tires. This doesn't really differ from any other tire. Ply width is, or ply rating is ply rating. Only thing to keep in mind is that if you're using an ag tire for extreme things like jumping and stuff like that, you're probably not going to want to go with a lighter ply tire like a 6, because if you get a heavy truck lantern on it, there's a pretty good chance you're going to flatten it out. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you have a lighter truck that you want the tire to flex and to be light, you're not going to want to run a heavy ply tire like a 10 or 14 ply, because they do get heavy and the sidewalls do get very thick in them and very stiff. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope that cleared up any questions you guys have on ag tires and their sizes and choosing your rims and stuff like that. If you're interested, we do sell a bunch of these patty tires, the R2s, and we do get into some R1s as well. We also do build a bunch of wheels specifically designed for ag tires. you know, if you want to mount these on a 1-ton bolt pattern, or if you want to put them on your 2.5-ton or 5-ton axles, we will build custom rims to do that. And they are very well designed. We build them out of a high strength steel, so you don't have to worry about them bending. And we have a lot of them out being used in competition use and stuff like that. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message, give me a call. There's a lot of information on our website too. We have a whole list of sizes and styles on our website with prices. So thanks again. See you next time.